What is up, my little demented necrophiliacs? Currently playing 2K20, and I'm currently making a few characters, so let's get cracking. Cracking. Cool. You know, we need to change everything to black. Perfect. Brilliant. Now we need to find an image. Custom images. So I downloaded some images. Now I just made Betty Boo actually. But who the fuck is Betty Boo? Well, Betty Boo is a singer from the 90s, I suppose, but she was around in the 80s. She kind of started around 80, 88, and then she became popular in 89, and that's pretty much the extent of it, really. She had two albums. One was very successful, and the other flopped, sadly. Now, the character we're making now is Lady Keir. Lady Keir from a band called Delight. So I'm going to have to try and find a pattern that would work for this character. Oh yeah, I could see that working. But I don't like the colours, but we'll have a look and see. No. No, not going to work. So Betty Boo became famous in 1989 when she released her first single, and it was with a band called the Beatmasters. Now the Beatmasters were just DJs basically. They made music and they got people to sing on their tracks. And one of the people that they got to sing was Betty Boo. And she technically is one of the first women of rap. Probably the first woman of rap. You know, rap didn't really find its way until later on, you know. So yeah, there you go. She went solo after the first single became a hit. She went solo. So she did. Oh, something like that could work. Maybe. I think it's too blue. So she went solo and she had one album which was very successful, and she had quite a few singles, and Madonna really liked her. So Madonna wanted to sign her up and get her all the publicity she could, because she thought Betty Boo was amazing. So she did. Sadly, Betty Boo declined the offer because Betty Boo's mother was dying. And Betty Boo's mother was dying, and the doctor gave her mother something like 3 weeks to live. Her mother ended up living another fucking like 4 years or something. And Betty Boo had just started her musical career that fucking had to end. So she made a comeback with an album a couple of years later, and she released it, and it became very successful in Australia of all places. So she went over there to tour, and she had a sellout gig. So she did. She had a sellout gig, but just as she arrived, she got laryngitis. So she did. She got laryngitis just as she arrived. So she decided she would lip sync, and the fans found out she was lip syncing, and that was the end of that. She had to leave halfway through her set and go home. She got the next plane home to England, and that was the end of Betty. Sadly. Poor Betty. Now, I've never seen anybody wear this. No, that's not good. So, although she's one of the first females of rap, she's not actually the first person to release a rap song. No. And the first person to release a rap song may shock you. It's a female. She's not known for rap music. In fact, she's not known for, I don't know what type of music. Folk music? Eurovision music? The first woman to release a rap song was Dana. That bitch that sings all kinds of everything. Remind me of Shish. So she was the first person to release a rap song. And I bet you didn't know that. No, that flowery catsuit will not work. It just won't work, but she's getting it because I like it. It's working. It's working, it's working, it's working. You know, we can make it look better. We will, we will. This is going to be great. So yeah, she was the first woman to release a rap song. The first band to release a rap song would have been Blondie. They released a song called Raptor. But the song didn't make any sense. You know, it was just experimental. The song didn't make any sense. So it was panned by people because, as I said, like, it was just an odd song that just rhymed random words together rather than make any sense. Whereas Dana's song was actually, did make sense. It was called Something's Cooking in the Kitchen. Very cheesy. It's not worth listening to. I do not recommend you look it up. Really don't look it up. And if you do look it up, don't give out to me because I did tell you not to look it up. It's just that simple. Do not look it up. Do 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 do. So yeah, Blondie's song called Raptor didn't really make any sense, as I said. Mars bars and cars and floating stars, and it was like she wrote the song when she was on acid or something, because it really just doesn't work. So Betty Boo had a gig recently in 2019, and it went down very well. So she hinted that she might reprise the role of Betty Boo. Betty Boo is usually seen with herself and with her Booettes, as she calls them. The Boos, Betty and the Boos. Her backing singers are usually two Asian girls, so they are on keyboards and guitar and whatnot. The Betty Boos. And she's based on Barbarella, actually. You know, 1960s Barbarella. Betty Boo is still around. Betty Boo is the female in the band, the Gorillaz. They added a new female gorilla, and that is Betty Boo. I bet you didn't know that. She also wrote songs for Alex James. Her best friend is Alex James from Blur. So he is. Alex James from the band Blur. Also, Alex is the creator of the Gorillaz and the lead singer of the band in the Gorillaz. So yeah, she's very busy with different things. You wouldn't even know. So you have to duplicate. You have to go over things again to make them work. So we have to give her more image. Do 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 do. So who is Lady Kerr? Lady Kerr is from a band called Delight, and they were an amazing band in the 80s and the 90s. And they sang that number one hit, Groove is in the Heart.